Hello, hello. There's chat features, there's Q&A features, and there's polling features. We're going to be using them throughout the course of the presentation. So if you want to explore and get familiar, go ahead and do that. We'll be here. We're probably going to start around 11:35 is when we're going to get to the meaty content. So if you want to go grab water or take a break or whatever before then, feel free. Just so everybody who is coming in, I'm Allison Hansen. This is Ryan Cowell, our panelist. We're very excited to talk to you guys today. And then obviously even more excited to get you, hopefully, one of you, a free drone program.
Awesome. All right, so wait like 5 more minutes.
Yep, 5 more minutes just about. I should have like background music or something, but we're just gonna sit here and stare at everybody.
Let's see, Patrick, we're gonna aim for about 30 minutes. We know everybody's super busy, so with school and it's the middle of the day, so we're gonna try to get it in 30 minutes. Thank you for joining. We cannot hear you. I think with the webinar, the chat feature is going to be available during the presentation. And then at the end, if you guys have questions, put them in during the chat, into the chat, and then at the end we'll answer them. I think Allison has the ability to unlock your audio if you, want to verbally say something to everybody.
And we can also follow up with you one-on-one via phone call as well. So I have all of your guys' information. So if you have questions that you want to ask, obviously you can email us, or you can just let us know to contact you after the webinar, and I will give you a personal phone call. I'll be happy to do that. That helps too, because then we can have a really good one-on-one talk.
So we got a couple more minutes till we're going to get started. While we're waiting, we'd like to know where everybody's kind of coming from. If you want to go ahead and put the state that you are tuning in from, that'd be great. I'm over here in California doing some work out here for Soaring Sky. Allison is in Florida. So hopefully have some more Floridians and maybe some California people. Nice, California, awesome. It's nice and early in California.
Yeah, I feel bad for you people. I'm having a nice leisurely afternoon over here.
Awesome. Cool. So we're getting, the attendees are starting to fill up.
Okay, so just a few more minutes.
I don't know why it said that I joined.
That was Daniel. Daniel joined.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool.
So I'm interested. Has anyone in the attendee list ever worked with drones before in their classroom or in their program? You can go ahead and answer if you want to, or not. Leave me hanging. Have not. Okay, cool.
Patrick. Cool. Patrick, what school are you from?
We're pretty excited to see how, well, we know how you integrate it, but this is a pretty easy solution to doing so. So if you're worried about it at all, we're going to break that down for you.
Awesome. Well, do you want to get started in a couple minutes?
Yep, couple minutes. Having those last minute folks come on in.
Oh yes, I know Daly City. I used to live in San Francisco, so I went to St. Mary's College in Moraga, a small little college up in San Francisco. So I'm very familiar with that area.
Yeah, and I don't tell people this, but I was born in Bakersfield, California. Anyone from California will get that joke. If you're not,
I don't know why won't you tell people that?
I love my hometown. It's just special.
It is very special.
Very special.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get started.
Let's
I
go for it.
think people will start to just keep joining as we kind of go on.
Perfect. All right, well, I'm going to start by sharing my screen with you guys, so I might get a little smaller, but I want you to see the start of our presentation, obviously, because this is what we're here to talk to you about today. So in general, we're going to talk to you about the Soaring Sky Drone Program. What this is and what we've developed is really a turnkey solution for educators looking to integrate drone technology into the classroom. So it's really exciting for us as professionals in the drone industry to get to share some of our passion and our know-how on some of this stuff and really give it back to you guys. So my personal background, I'm an aviator, so I have my private pilot's license, which makes me really keen to work with people in the drone industry because we are all sharing the same sky. As far as my role at Soaring Sky is concerned, I am marketing lead, and I also head the education department and handle some of our operations as well. So I do a little bit of everything. Now I'll let Ryan introduce himself.
Awesome. Yeah. So my background really comes from marketing. Got into the drone industry about 3 years ago. I'm currently one of the co-founders of Soaring Sky. And to kind of go into Soaring Sky's history, we actually started out in 2014 as a drone solutions company. So we were one of the first companies in the industry to receive what was called a 333 exemption. That actually gave us a federal license to fly drones commercially. Allison, do you want to go to the who we are slide? So we've worked in a variety of industries, working with small businesses to enterprise level companies, from agriculture to energy to utilities, construction. And then we recently started focusing on education, really within the last probably year and a half. So all of our pilots are on staff are 107 license. The 107 license, the new license that came out from the FAA that basically allows anybody to take the test, pass it, and fly a drone commercially. So kind of go into what we do on a solutions level. We do things like inspections, cell tower inspections, bridge inspections. We work in, like I said, the agriculture industry, doing precision agriculture, surveying and mapping for construction companies. And then we do now a lot of education and training. So there's a lot of possibilities. These are just a few of the things that we can do. And we saw, the reason we got into education is that we saw a gap in the industry about a year and a half ago. And we had this industry that was moving forward and moving very fast, but we didn't have enough people to fill some of the jobs that were coming up. And we saw that at the middle school and high school level, there was no education being had or taught. And we thought, why not take advantage of this and take action? And we decided to start our own drone education program. And so one of the things that I did was I worked with a local high school in Florida. We basically co-developed the curriculum for about a year, and then we fine-tuned it and really spent a long time kind of trying to create a turnkey solution for these schools to start integrating drone technology into the classroom. And that's kind of where the inspiration came from. Once we got into the classroom, we started realizing that kids just absolutely fell in love with it. They were super engaged. They didn't want to leave class. They wanted to stay, after school and start flying the drones. And it was just an awesome feeling. And, if you go to our next slide is into why we do it. Perfect case study of exactly why we do what we do within education is that we had a student, Patrick. He was a senior at Oasis High School. He was in one of our first drone classes. Really, really bright kid. He had a lot of potential right away. When I saw him and met him and talked to him for the first time, I knew this kid was definitely special. He went through our whole drone class, and at the end of the drone class, he was really interested in wanting to learn more and work more. And he wanted to become an intern at Soaring Sky. So at 17 years old, we put him through like a 3-4 step interview process, which he was really scared about, but he did fine. And you know, that turned into a full-time intern position over the summer where he worked with us on several different projects, you know, including he did product development for us, he did equipment maintenance, he learned some flight training, and then he was also able to help us at some drone events, speaking to some of the younger demographics. So Patrick is still working with us, and you know, he's in college now. He's up at what is it, U of S or U of F, University of Florida. And yeah, so he's still progressing. He's pursuing a degree in mechanical engineering, but he thinks he wants to go into drones after college. And so that story right there is just one of the stories that we have as into why we're going into education. We want to set up our students to be successful in the future. So yeah, you want to go into the next?
Yeah, absolutely. So I kind of want to give you guys really what we're here to talk about today is our turnkey drone program. So you can see that it's essentially what our program is it's 6 lessons over an hour and a half period for each lesson, 10 micro drones and lesson plans that you get in the mail. But really that's just the features of our program. What I want to talk to you about is really what it provides your students and what it allows them to do. So for students, it's an opportunity for them to engage with a platform that will really change the way that they see science, technology, engineering, and math. First of all, it's fun. You get to play with the drone at the end of the day, which is what we're all here to do. But what you really do is over the course of 6 lessons, you're applying physics to drone flights, engineering to drone assembly. Our goal was to make sure that your students were so engaged and having so much fun, they didn't actually realize that they were learning anything. And they do learn a lot. They take away, I have 9-year-olds who are talking to me about aerodynamics, and it blows my mind every day. For educators, and so from your perspective, what this program provides is a simple and comprehensive but extensively guided turnkey solution for those seeking additional STEM programming in their schools. So if you're wanting to bring the educational and technology tools of drone technology and of really future classrooms into your classroom today, we provide all the materials and support to get 10 students through a program at the basic level. And then we have different expansion packs available as well. So if you're wanting to bring in additional students, we have that capability and that possibility as well through our curriculum. So taking a look here, there's rigorous learning that goes on for your student. Each lesson has been developed with key core standards in mind. So there's different outcomes that we expect your students to achieve through the course of the program. Now, the drone industry itself is growing. It's expected to exceed $80 billion. It's going to be an $80 billion industry in the next little bit, which means it's one of those high demand, high growth, high wage jobs, which is so important to prepare our students for. And a lot of people say, like, why are you targeting the middle school level? Why is it so important to you to get this in middle schools? Well, there's a ton of untapped funding sources for a lot of middle schools as well as they look at career development. So we want to keep our pulse on that too. And then obviously they can apply these concepts as they get a little older and can actually get their licensure and become real industry professionals at the high school level. I mean, this career can start at 16, which is pretty cool, or at least some of them can. And then we've partnered with award-winning teachers and drone professionals to create the state-of-the-art program. We have drone racers. We have people who've been involved in the industry before it was cool to be involved in the industry. A bunch of robotics nerds getting together and helping us develop our program. But essentially, what we want to provide you and your students is the joy that comes from learning something that you can't learn in a textbook. A lot of it is driven by key principles of education, but what we provide is, I really think, above and beyond that as far as the curriculum is concerned. So I want to take you through that curriculum a little bit more too. So again, working with winning teachers, industry professors, and drone pilots, we have those 6 lessons that are created to guide you, the teacher, with 0 experience in drone technology. So Patrick, that won't be an issue, no experience necessary. But they're integrated with e-learning platforms so that they're easily accessible and easily teachable. So our actual curriculum is fantastic. It guides you step by step. It has particular questions that you ask at what time, different worksheets. You get a basically notebook of resources dedicated to you, the teacher, that's going to help you guide through. And then you'll have people like myself and Ryan to help you with any additional questions that you might have, as our customer support is really included in that package. We love to talk to you about everything that we have going on. So again, easy access. We have it's basically all online. The lesson plans and things like that. Zero experience needed. I can tell you right now that I am not the best drone pilot in the world. I'm a great airplane pilot, but my flight skills are always needing a little bit of work. So when I'm in the classroom with students, and I've been in the classroom with many students, I use them as really my personal resource to help facilitate and embed problem solving and things like that if I run into any issues that are beyond the scope of my knowledge of drones. Now, the STEM base is really important for you guys as well. The career readiness and STEM-based nature of this makes it really attractive if you're trying to get funding. And then the core standards, which is those core curriculum components that, again, our foundation was based off of a semester-long curriculum, but we wanted to give it to people a little quicker, a little faster, and a little bit more condensed for the people who don't have the resources to facilitate a full 16-week semester-long curriculum.
Yeah. And Allison, just to kind of go off of the curriculum part, because I know, like Patrick, you said you have zero experience, and I just want to hit on that. We do have, teachers and a case study, actually in Southern California. One of our teachers, it was last year, brought on our curriculum, zero experience whatsoever, did not know anything about drones. And she was able to successfully teach the class to her students of 30. She had 30 kids in the classroom, and the kids had a blast. The students loved it. The parents actually loved it. They were very excited about having the drone program at their school. And so it was a huge success. And now this semester, she's actually running 2 classes of 30 students each. That's 60 students. That's a lot of drones. So, just want to really hit hard on the point that we do not expect teachers to have experience with drone technology. We're always here to answer any questions that you guys have as far as the curriculum is concerned. And just know that these lesson plans were designed for teachers. So you just have to have a passion for obviously learning and a passion for the industry and drones itself, and an interest just to kind of, push your way through it. But the lesson plans are very, very streamlined.
For sure. Yeah, I just love seeing the success of our students. So I know that our teachers can be successful because most of them are so passionate and so energized by the prospect of embedding this technology. But then the outcomes of our students as well is what really makes me excited about the program in particular, because seriously, the joy that they have in interacting with this technology. It's the first generation of people, these middle school students, who were really born with technology in their hands. So their ability, I know that as I look at the drone industry, I'm not looking 5 years into the future, I'm looking 10 years into the future as I work with these students who are so excited and so impassioned to be interacting with our technology and what we provide. So I want to talk a little bit more about some of the additional capabilities of our program as well. For those schools that have the resources, or those organizations that have the resources, we also offer a drone simulator. So what this is basically an online platform. It's like a video game, honestly, for your students, but it allows them to apply some of the piloting skills and the concepts that they're learning in the classroom, and practice it at home and really work on their flight skills. So the simulation allows them to practice their skills, design race courses, so it's that engineering component, build and practice building drones and trying different configurations of the technology. And then it's a very safe place. What I appreciate about the simulation is that it is a very safe place for them to make mistakes. So if they, if they crash a drone here, no problem. They just get to reboot and start again. Whereas in real world, if you're really out there doing this or practicing, sometimes there are consequences to that. So it allows them to really flex their muscles a little bit and get a true understanding of what they have going on. And 99% of the students that we surveyed after using the simulator said that their flight skills improved by a pretty huge margin, at 300% there. So again, what's required for this is an Xbox remote and access to computers. So if you have a computer lab that has the technology available, sometimes the challenge is honestly getting enough remotes for students, but then sometimes what we do is we'll have them join teams, and so that the resource issue is not that big of a deal. But the simulator is awesome. We really like it, and again, as long as you have the capability, it's really easy to implement and really easy to embed. And then we have alternative programming should you not have those resources available as well. So you by no means should be excluded if you don't have the resources. We work with a lot of community organizations that really are underfunded and they don't have the capability, but we have developed alternative curriculum for them to make sure the experience is just as good. So that's when I want to talk to you about the actual drone that we're using. So when you think drone, a lot of the time you're thinking of those big Phantom or Inspires of the DJI model. That's not what we give our students because those are too expensive. This is what we give our students. It's called a micro drone. It's the Inductrix micro drone. Ryan, you actually have one with you.
Yep. So I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but it is a drone that can fit literally in the palm of your hand. It's one of the reason we chose, I guess I'll talk a little bit about the drone build.
Go ahead.
The reason we chose this model and partnered with this company is because it is one of the safest drones on the market. It's very simple build, but the safety is a big feature. And so we tested a lot of micro drones out there, and this one by far is the best. And what's great about this one is that it's a modular build. So the kids, once they build this, and our program is designed for the kids to take the drone home, they can actually upgrade and modify this drone. They can put a new flight controller on it. They can boost the motors up. They can make the frame a little sturdy. So it is a very modular drone. They can actually add a camera to it so that they can get in some first person view racing if they wanted to. So this drone itself, it's great. And so what we do is the drone actually comes assembled. It comes with your transmitter. This is the transmitter. Great transmitter. Basically, all the controls on here will transfer into the real world or the commercial world where the transmitter controls are exactly the same. So what's great about this is that the drone does come assembled, and we have the kids look at it, and we have them take it apart. Because, as a kid, I always would take things apart, try to figure out how to put it back together again. So we have them break them down, look at the parts, understand the parts, and then build it back up. And we found this to be extremely successful in the classroom. So I actually have plenty of these drones. They're really durable, really sturdy. And the biggest thing that we've really seen schools like is the safety. The prop guards right here, you can run them into walls. You can actually, if they were to hit a student, it wouldn't hurt them whatsoever. It would just bounce off of them. So once again, this is by far one of the best drones on the market.
And I've been in a fair number of classrooms where I have about 30 of these things buzzing around me at once, and I'm still here. So that's encouraging for anybody who's a little maybe intimidated by it. But honestly, this drone is incredible just because, first of all, there's different modes, so it adapts to different skill levels. So if you have a really advanced, mini pilot in your midst, they can activate sport mode and do a little bit more maneuvering. And then it has, the regular basic mode where it self-hovers and self-corrects. But the cool thing about using a micro drone like this, and again, it's not to the caliber of what we use professionally, but our pilots practice on micro drones because once you have it, the technology and the techniques to maneuver a drone of this size, the ones that are larger, they have such advanced technology that I don't want to say that they fly themselves because there is a huge level of skill, especially with the type and kind of work that we do. However, once you have the mastery of the small drone, it's really easy to upgrade to the larger ones, and the skills transfer very well. The controls are the same. Really, it's the level of functionality that you have that changes, and the level of control you have. With really, the more advanced you get, the easier they are to control in general. So we're excited to share that with you. Again, the program is designed so that each student will actually take home their drone, because again, that allows them to continue reinforcing the lessons that they learned in the classroom in the real world. So the next thing we want to talk to you about is the different career paths available in the drone industry. So we've talked a little bit about our backgrounds, Ryan and I, but there's a lot of additional opportunities out there for your students who are really excited and engaged by this type of technology. So being a drone pilot is being ready to work in an industry that's growing quickly, that's changing fast, and that is in really, really high demand. So you saw the number and type of industries that we work for: cell tower inspections, infrastructure development, search and rescue. What else have we been doing? Real estate, cinematography, videography. There's basically a intersectional availability of industries in which a student can find their passion and apply their work as a drone pilot. There's also drone racers. There was a 15-year-old, was he 15?
Yeah, 15 years old.
$250,000 in the latest drone race in Dubai. And again, it's the 15-year-olds that are going to make the biggest impact in this industry anyway. So preparing them as they're younger, it's just incredible to see. Then there's the engineering and programming part of it. So Ryan talked about taking apart and putting back together the different components of our drones. We have robotics engineers that are on our staff. We have people who are really interested in programming, software development, flight controls, just in general assembly and then disassembly of whatever else the technology it is that is the technology of the day. We have 3D printers that are printing little camera mounts for that tiny little drone, and experimenting with the different technology designs that we have available to us. So it's basically careers that are rewarding that natural curiosity that students tend to have about technology that is advanced like this. So again, I mentioned the drone racing component. That's the drone pilot. It is the the pipe dream of drone pilots to end up on a big stage like that. But really, it's more accessible than you would think. We're growing, but and in popularity, but there's huge possibilities for people to enter that arena as well. And then business, that's what Ryan and I do. We love our jobs, and we get to play with drones all day. But more than that, we get to be involved in the marketing of our industry. We get to be involved in the accounting, making sure that we're being paid for the jobs that we're producing. Management and a lot of other opportunities are embedded in there as well. So again, sky's the limit. For us, we say that most people say sky's the limit, but we say it's just the beginning, because there are so many possibilities to integrate yourself in this particular industry. As you can see, just based on these 4 examples, that we're not too shy about where we're getting started there.
And another thing to touch on too is our goal is really our hopes and dreams for this program is to not only prepare students, for the real world, but to really educate them on the possibilities of this industry. And one of the things that we go through in the class is like we have kids just get very creative. If you had a drone and it could do anything you can imagine, what would it do? And really just trying to open up possibilities, because we don't want to keep them contained in a box to where they think that this is the only thing that it can do. And so starting at the middle school level, this is really preparing them for their future, and rolling into high school. We're working on a high school program, as we speak. That's going to be a little more intensive and a little more catered towards the commercial market. But starting at the middle school level, these kids are amazing and they're super smart, and there's no reason why they can't start now. They shouldn't have to wait till they get to high school to be able to learn about drone technology. So yeah, and one of the things that's not in here, and I think if we go to the next slide, is the racing gates. So the racing gates, if you go to the next slide, Allison. So what's included is you get 10 micro drones, 6 lesson plans. The lesson plans range from 90 to 120 minutes. We've seen it go longer, but that is an average time that we're seeing right now. And then 7 racing gates. So the racing gates, this is another aspect of the engineering side that the kids get to do. They come in a bunch of different pieces. And one of our exercises is that they build this obstacle course out of these racing gates, and that they have to fly through this obstacle course and use their flight skills that they just learned to navigate through it. It's an awesome lesson that we do, super fun. And at the end, we have a huge drone race where the kids kind of do like a timed lapse, and whoever has the best time, wins a prize. So that's something that's not included. It's something like brand new that we just added. So we don't have any pictures of it on here yet, but I will say that it is very fun lesson that we do. And it's one of my favorites, just to see the progression.
Racing gates were designed by our former students. So that individual whose picture you saw before, he's now helping us actually develop our technology and everything, which is really cool to see as well. So we always welcome former students back to contribute, and as active contributors to what we're trying to provide, because really they know better than we do when it comes to what they're interested in. So we let them decide and design, and luckily we have to produce some really incredible students who are really excited about contributing back. So awesome. Really at this point, we're kind of wrapping up here. So if anybody has any questions for us, obviously we would love to answer them. I'm going to for more information, obviously, or if you're looking to purchase the information, you probably want to wait until we announce who the winner of the free program is. But as soon as we do that, you can, and if you're still interested, this is the link at which you would go ahead and visit to access more information about the program. But really, we're just excited, again, that you guys were able to join us today and talk to us about what we're so passionate about, and hopefully it will become something that your students are really passionate about as they seek to grow and expand this industry. So let me.
And we'll send this presentation to everybody attending today. And obviously, if you want to talk to us one-on-one, we're available. Just give us a call. Our number is going to be on this presentation, or you can shoot us an email. Whatever you feel best. We're definitely here to try to help and see how we can get this drone program up and running in your school. Awesome. Another thing I don't think we did mention, Allison, was that we've seen variations of this program being integrated, whether it's an after-school program, whether it's a summer program, whether it's a program that's being integrated into a current class. So like if you have a robotics class, this is a perfect way to introduce drone technology and just kind of have it as another module. So it's really adaptable, it's really customizable to your needs. And we're always willing to kind of help and see if we can find another way to integrate it if you guys are not sure on how to bring it into your school.
But yeah, because we say between 90 and 120 minutes, because those are really the natural cutoffs of our program. But if you only have 45 minutes, obviously it can be adapted. There's natural closing points within the lesson. But because we have used it as an after-school program, that's really what we've done. But you have an understanding of the needs and desires of your students, your staff, your organization. And so if you're operating within constraints, you can basically take out any piece of this curriculum and apply it to your needs. So that's a huge benefit to you as an educator, because we won't constrain you or limit you. We'll just let you go crazy, which is really what your students are going to be doing too. So I think you'll have as much fun as your students do. I tend to have as much fun as I do.
Awesome. Cool. So we have, I think that's pretty much it, right, Allison?
That's it. The winner of the free drone program is going to be announced tomorrow via Facebook Live. One of the things that we need you to do is complete, just as to make sure you were paying attention, is to make sure that you complete a questionnaire that I'm going to send along with this video as soon as I get those submissions back. So they need to be in to me by noon tomorrow at the latest. So if you can get me those submissions, I will make sure that we select a winner and then go for it.
Awesome. And we'll follow up with all you guys after the webinar, via email, just to make sure that we answered all your questions.
Yeah, again, reach out anytime. We're always available, but we're wrapping up for now. If anybody has any questions, I'll stick around for just a couple of minutes, but you are, as for now, free to go. Thank you, guys.
Cool. Thank you guys for attending.
Awesome. Thank you. Any questions, just give me a call. I'd be so happy to help. Yeah, Patrick, how can I help you? So I think I get what you're asking. The different packages that are available. Okay, I'm glad you asked. And I'll definitely include this information in the follow-up email that I send. So if you have to go, and I'll get you the information that you need. However, with the different packages that are available, so we basically, the price that you saw, which I'm going to share my screen with you one more time. Here we go. the price that you saw, which was that $17.50, included for 10 students, but it also includes the licensing cost of our program as well. So additional packages, so those add-ons for additional students are much, much less, because really what we're giving you are additional racing gates, sticker packs, micro drones, and then of course the customer support if you need it. Because we're just at that point reselling drones, because you will have the curriculum and the base information that you need, it's going to be much less. So it's about $500 for 5 more students, $1,000 for 10 more students, and then you can basically just do the math from there. So again, you're licensing the program with that initial fee, but if you have a group of 20 students, a group of 40, a group of 100, obviously we can offer some sort of deals or discounts if you're dealing with a really high volume. But if it's just 5 more students, 10 more students, then it's anywhere from $500 to $1,000 more dollars, depending on what your needs are. So thank you for asking that question. That is very, very, very insightful. Thank you. Of course, I'll get you, like I said, I'll include the package information in a follow-up email just so that everybody has it. But Patrick, you were awesome. Thanks for interacting so much. We had a lot of ghosts in here today, and you made it fun, so thank you. No problem. Enjoy the rest of your, I guess the rest of your day, because you're in California. All right. Looks like we only have a couple of participants left. Everybody has signed off pretty quick. I know that we're eager to get started with our day or continue our afternoon. Just want to thank everybody again so much from the bottom of my heart. We love sharing what we do with people, and you've made it a huge success for us. We're excited to talk more. Have a great day.